Hi, my name is Michelle Diglio Ben-Karan, and today I'm here with attorney Richard Sierra, and we just want to share something positive with you today. We get a lot of cases that are pretty difficult, and this one really, really touched our heart. And it was a very difficult situation. It dealt with the family, and it had really, really positive outcomes. And the reason why I share it is because it was difficult. And Richard, you did such an awesome job in helping this woman and her family. So I'd like you to share
Sure,
it.
sure. We had a young woman come and approach us, and we took it on pro bono. You
Hmm.
agreed to take it on pro bono. She didn't have much money.
She
Um,
was living in her car.
right, she was living in her car at the time, and she was fighting to try and get her home back.
Hmm.
And this was a home that she'd grown up in, and uh, her parents had separated, but they never got divorced. But they separated, and the father was around, but he was more or less homeless and unemployed. But he would sometimes live with the daughter. Um, the daughter went away to school. She tried to learn um, how to be
A pastor,
basically a
right?
pastor,
Yeah.
and went away for training. And so she had to quit her job and went up to, I think it was Tennessee.
Hmm.
And that left the mother alone, and she was not making enough money to pay. With her and the daughter's income, she could make it, but without her daughter's income. And so she became delinquent on some bills, and I guess she kind of panicked. And a gentleman approached her who was some kind of real estate investor of his own, and he convinced her to sell the property to her. Now, when the daughter found out about it, she came down to try and stop it. She had always assumed this home would be her home, that she would inherit it. Um, and she felt that this man had taken advantage of his mother. He hadn't offered fair market value. He just said, "I'll take over the debt," and he gave her a little bit of money, and it was a terrible deal. The mom was taken advantage of. Um,
Was the mom still living in the home, or did she
she moved
leave?
out.
She
She
moved
moved
out.
out.
Okay.
She couldn't afford. So I mean, they were desperate. I mean, they lost power, and so the well wouldn't work. So she couldn't get water, much less have air conditioning or lights. So
Hmm.
and then she was worried that she couldn't have money for taxes, and she just thought she was going to lose it.
Hmm.
When it really, she could have. So they probably could have kept it, and if the daughter had known what was going on. But unfortunately, by the time she approached me, the mom had signed over title to her. So we
She
we
had a
raised
mess.
we raised the homestead issue that
Hmm.
so this property, our position was this was homestead property, and homestead property has to be transferred certain ways.
Hmm.
There are certain legal ways in which homestead property has to be transferred. They tried to argue it wasn't homestead, so that was what the fight was over, in court. The legal issue was whether or not it was homestead. But once we were able to convince the court that it was homestead, then that transfer, we were able to set aside the transfer from the mom to what I felt was, a predatory individual who was
Hmm.
taking advantage of this family's financial hardship to basically get their only asset they had in the whole world, which was this, it was probably a 1 acre lot with a bit of a modular home on it.
Hmm.
So
So, so, so in essence, I think what makes it so extraordinary is because when this woman approached us, it was the middle of the summer. It was
right,
like 800 degrees and
she had been trying to litigate it on
yeah,
her own for
yeah.
a while. And the case, would get dismissed, and she would refile it and it would get dismissed. And it had been a couple years. Like I said, this is something she'd been fighting with the owner for a couple years, and the new owner who was renting it out. And yeah, he had fixed it up and rented it out. But he knew that she was claiming that, you can't do that, that I was, that what had happened was illegal, but he went ahead and, did that. Uh, but we were able to get it undone, and she got her home back. And, it was her intention to get the home back,
Hmm.
fix it up, and have her dad move in, and her mom was welcome too, and provide a home for them. And so it worked out.
Yeah, it was a happy ending. It
Yeah.
was a happy ending. So anyway, we had just wanted to share that with you. We do have happy, happy things that have a positive result in the end, and this was one of them. And this lady literally went from living in an 800-degree car to being fully restored to a property that was really in better condition than when she
Yeah.
had left
Yeah.
it. So anyway, if you have any questions or have any situations like that you'd like us to answer, please call us at Legal Counsel. If you have questions, we have answers.